So, making another video when I determine what kind of content I want to post here, I'll start doing that. I'm getting a little sleepy. I just took my medicine and it'll probably make me a little bit more sleepy. Probably pretty sleepy. It's an anticonvulsant. Just took 4 of them. Big pills. Slows down my brain activity. So I just looked at the comment I posted, and then I looked at the size of the video that I was uploading. And I was wondering if I was just paranoid or overreacting. And I just started thinking. I've been thinking a lot. I've been doing a lot of that lately. A lot of thinking. A lot of trying to examine myself. Slurring my words because I'm tired. Been exercising more. Probably need to meditate more. But I drink entirely too much caffeine. Probably should not do that. So I've got some chai tea going on. Put some green tea in it. So what am I here to talk about? Well, I'm examining myself and I'm starting to wonder. And the immediate thought that came to my head is, what's wrong with me? No. I have some pretty decent ideas of what I want to be careful how I think about myself and talk about myself. Because I think I'm fairly misunderstood. At the same time, I think I have a lot of responsibility at this age to take for myself. And then I could take more, and I'm contemplating life, people and things. You know, we're only on this earth for a finite amount of time. And I've always known this. And the older you get, the more apparent that becomes. And you begin to examine how you spend your time, how you think about things, what you care about, and what you devote yourself to, and who you devote yourself to, or who you communicate with, and you become more independent, and you begin to be more comfortable with asserting your opinion in front of other people, and setting your boundaries, and you become really, really good at that. But I like to think that we also become better at accepting other people's boundaries. So I think I started making this video because I just had this situation that I don't understand, but I think of course I'm gonna have to, accept it. And somewhere along the lines, it's got to be my fault, or maybe it's not personal. Maybe it's just no big deal. Maybe I'm overthinking it. But there's somebody I used to know, or be acquainted with, and just ran into this individual, and I think I just put it together. And I said, hey, because I was thinking about, stopping by and saying hi, because I'm feeling like I'm coming out of my shell a bit. And I just kind of said or did what came natural. Normally when you are trying to be amiable or friendly or polite to a person, you happen to be in a store, you offer them to buy them something or whatever, and it had occurred to me, oh, well, I thought, maybe I could buy you a couple drinks or whatever, and I was thinking at first, initially, I wonder if so-and-so is home, maybe I could, buy them something from the store or whatever. But I just had a memory of the past. It was a situation that I was concerned about, and I didn't mean to be too judgmental. I wasn't trying to be, and I think my approach was a bit misunderstood, and maybe I am not so great at communicating in certain situations. But I like to stay away from alcohol. And I was losing my mind a little bit because I started drinking with this person, and I started drinking privately. And I didn't think it was healthy for me or good for me. And I should have kept my personal opinion to myself, but I felt like I was concerned for this individual because I felt like they were drinking too much. Like all the time, So the moment I then became a hypocrite and offered to buy this individual a couple of beers is probably why when I said, hey, you want to hang out for like 10 minutes? Said, no. No, I'm good. No. Just gonna have a couple of beers, go to bed, got an exam tomorrow. No disrespectful, nothing like that. But it became clear to me that things had changed. Just one of those times where you could tell something's different, I did something, I said something. So I'm looking at all of that, okay, within myself. Alright, so, and I'm also looking at life as a whole. I'm looking at my future, I'm looking at my decisions, I'm looking at all my plans, everything I have to do. And I want to cut a path, okay? And I just said in my head, it's got to be like light. I want it to be the shortest path. I've lived a long life for 38 years old. And I want to stay young, of course, as long as I can. A lot of people chase that. I wanted to be a geneticist. I wanted to create the elixir of life. I have certain health secrets. I made sure. I need to be healthier. And I think a lot of that has to do with social wellness and health. And what I'm realizing is that it doesn't matter how determined you are. And yes, living within your means is a real thing, of course. And I may be one determined bastard, and it doesn't mean I should give up because something is hard. But I think I'm in a process right now where I'm trying to determine how to do those things and what I want to do and or if they are even worth my time. And I'm not about to let somebody decide that for me, if that makes sense. And I think you may face scenarios where I may be threatened or intimidated, and I won't respond well to it. I will become worse. I'm talking about private and corporate entities and government. I want my rights. I want justice. I want investigations. And I'm not willing to easily back down. But I'm willing to have a discussion, and that depends on how I'm approached, how I'm treated. And I'm willing to negotiate, but I'm not willing to negotiate my freedom. Where I find something has gone wrong, I want it resolved. And if I decide, well, I don't want to sacrifice 5 to 10 years of my life going through this, because that's what these individuals' plans are for me, and this is my life, I don't deserve that. I deserve some peace, so to say. Would say a master. But then I say, there's also the Chinese art of war. So there's the art of peace and there's the art of war. And there's a middle ground. When is it time to pick up the sword? When is it time to lay it down? That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. And it's a battle within myself. And there are several other battles within myself. I'm wanting to make some changes. Starting to notice some things I no longer like, accept. Some things I can improve. Some things I should work towards. In therapy, and I should work to actively engage in the community. Dating. Some habits. I think I'm fairly misunderstood, and I'm going to be misunderstood. But I won't tell everybody. However I look, there are worse people out there than me, obviously. And I come across looking the wrong way sometimes, I think. And I'm okay with letting it appear that way. If it means I get to lose the wrong people. I'm only looking for stability. And I'll wait for it. It means friendships. And I'm open to the concept of dating. Not incapable of it. Still want to. I mean, I do, but I'm not ready. That's okay. I probably am, but I'm not at the same time. I'm not where I want to be. But I'm trying to step outside of myself, and I'm realizing that that's a box I've created for myself. And it was an accident. It was a mistake to create that box. And my therapist was right. And I realize this now. I minimized it when he brought it up, and I did it on purpose. I didn't want to credit him for being right. I was late for my appointment today, 15 minutes, so I lost the appointment. I was only able to see the psychiatrist right after that then. But he said you ever feel like you push people away so they can't hurt you first? Yes, I do. And I watch them afterwards. Not in a creepy way, but to see if they're all going to be the same. To see if they all do the same thing. All react the same way. I'm only interested in people that don't. I'm only interested in unique people that are capable of seeing things that other people can't see. So I'm a very bored person. I'm highly understimulated. In fact, I'm so highly understimulated that I have to take medication for it. It will impact my motivation if I don't. My empathy. Yeah, my empathy. It's not just choice. It's chemical, and you require natural, biological, regulation that is functioning. And it isn't always a smaller amygdala that causes lack of empathy, and it doesn't mean that you are, or that I am generally a person that lacks empathy. Feeling is what I'm saying, not just empathy. The two aren't mutually exclusive, but they're not identical. You can have a lot of empathy as a human being like I do. Too much, actually. And not feel a fucking thing for anybody or anything. If you're not on the right medicine. And you'll rot in a chair like a fucking vampire. And that's what happens to me without my medicine. And I didn't discover that until 2017. So recently, after certain events, they put me on a stronger one like that. And I feel better. A little bit. Enough to matter. Enough to get out there and do things now, I guess. With the right motivation. Well, I can seize the motivation now. But I have to use it while it's there. And what I've discovered, and it's a very important topic, therapy, psychiatry. When you have these tools available and when you have the energy during the day, you need to use them. Because it's not medication isn't a permanent fix, and therapy needs to be practiced, and when your medicine is working, you need to get to work. So And that's what I'm realizing lately. Right now, I'm checked out. That was my stomach. In my head. So now I guess I'm not so checked out. I'm drinking about 210 milligrams of caffeine right now with some chai tea because my medicine has a wicked drop-off curve. Helps me hold still. It helps me focus. And it helps with that imbalance that I'm not willing to talk about right now. And for people like me, typical antidepressants are deadly. They have the opposite effect. So we can't take them. It's becoming known in these doctors, these psychiatrists, evidently. I found out. Glad to see progress. I'm having memories. Things I did to myself when I was taking SSRIs. I'm moving on from the past, and I'm glad science is making progress. You know, psychiatry is a science, and so is psychology. And what I hope the public learns from this is that, and I'm thinking of war vets too, you know, because I also have a condition known as PTSD. So in fact, my two primary disorders are PTSD and bipolar disorder, which does come coupled with ADHD because of the nature of it. I ended up finding out that the difference between bipolar 1 and bipolar 2 is the percentage of the year that you are depressed. There are other factors to distinguish the two. I become extremely listless without medicine. Profoundly listless, like it should be something that's in a documentary, honestly. So I guess that's what I'm doing. I'm documenting. But there are others out there like me. I see you. And I think it's important that we all be allowed to speak, you know, that we all be allowed to be heard, and that we're not isolated. It's a crime to be discriminatory and isolate certain members of the community and in 2017, before I started getting the help that I needed, before I started on this long journey, I decided that I wanted to help others like me. I'm not going to say how anymore. Because I was taken advantage of. I'm not letting that happen again. I'm questioning my morals at times. I think I'm too hard on myself. Not perfect. I'm not so bad either. I don't feel like I have an inflated sense of self-worth, but I do feel like I'm better than most people are allowed to see or have the chance to see. And I don't know if it's just entirely because of my disconnect, whatever disconnect I may have, or because of that and because of the corruption that exists online. Because it has become a part of society to connect in this way. My friend and I were talking about almost too much, and it's toxic. These corporations are going to have people run for the hills. We're going to stop using their services because they want to control. They want to define us as the product, buy us, sell us. If we're not good enough, they want to discard us or not show our product, our content. They want to hide our content. They want to hide us if they don't like our face, if they don't like our opinion. Not a bunch of pretty colors around you, not a pretty face, whatever, Really, no, that's how it is. That's how it is. They want unique content because you're just a product, you're not a person. To youtube.com, you are not a person. And until that changes, people like me are not going to have any other attitude. It's not just me with that opinion. It's my best friend as well. Tells me about it all the time. That's all I'm going to say. There are some people here on this platform who have loads of content and they don't get any views for reasons that are discriminatory, or for other reasons that that are not worth talking about at this time. I'll pick and choose my moments and what I want to talk about and when, as it may apply, as it may pertain to the situation. This all fits into what I'm saying. This place isn't reality. This is a little box. And I'm trying to decide what to do with it. It can sicken the mind. And I think it's making a lot of us feel turned against and gravitate more towards turning against these corporations